morning, guys. Hope everybody's doing well. I have a little, I guess you can call it, public service announcement this morning. Guys, it's being reported that all the ports around the United States are empty. They are dead on no activity, none. It's every port. It's the port in California, it's the port in Seattle, it's the port in West Virginia, it's the port in the Great Lakes. It's all of them. There is literally no activity on either of those ports. However, the ports in China, oh, they're booming. The ports in other countries, they are booming. Nothing has stopped. Nothing has halted. Only the ports in the United States have absolutely no activity. Yes. So it's time for you guys to go out, get you some things, stock up on some things, get your necessities, just kind of stock up a bit. It's going to get bare around. The covers are going to be bare. The shelves are going to be empty, probably within the next month. It's sad, but it's true. He has truly screwed this country. And as you can see, even the country suffering or threatening to have empty shelves in a matter of weeks. It's not enough for these people to get this man out of here. And another bit of announcement that I want to let you know. As soon as the shelves get empty and people want to go out and protest, Trump has something up his sleeves for you. He just signed an executive order to unleash more cruelty from the police department. He has an order said he's going to unleash the police onto the citizens to protect the innocent. He's going to, in other words, like they had reins, he's going to take off the reins and let them go wild. And on top of that, the top law firms that got together and contributed over $1 billion to this man, he's going to utilize them to defend the cops pro bono for any civil right violation acts that they do. It's not enough he gave them complete immunity, but now he's setting it up to where he's going to have a whole collision of law firms, top law firms, to defend these cops that he unleashes onto the public. And I'm not through. That's not all his executive order is going to do. He's also going to get his DOJ, Defense Secretary, and Department of Secretary to come up. He's giving them 90 days to come up with the plan of how he can incorporate the military to assist the police department to go out and supposedly protect and serve the innocent and get the criminals. So what he's getting ready to do is, the minute people want to freak out about not having food, about not having necessities, about not being able to get anything that they need, and they want to go out into the streets, he's going to have the police and the military waiting on you. Yeah. He's setting you up to be picked off in the streets by the police and the military working together. This is what you guys have brought into everyone's lives, including your own. And if you think it's just going to be the black people that's going to get hit, watch it. Watch what happens. Once the protesters are out there the way they're going to be, because people are going to be hot and pissed and very, very, very vocal. And they're going to be met with retaliation. Trump already knows what he's doing. He knows people are not going to like it. He knows people are going to react. And what he's doing, he's setting you up. He's setting it up. So when you do react, the police, he's unleashed the police department. These are the words he used in that executive order. He is going to unleash the police department. He's going to remove the handcuffs off them. These are the words in the executive order. Please look the executive order up. Please research this. The wording in that executive order says violence, violence, and more violence. Y'all happy now? You happy? Got what you want? Huh? You guys feeling empowered now? Feeling great again? Y'all feel like y'all ruling again? White supremacy, is it back on the top now? Are you happy? Y'all back in the #1 position? Y'all feel in control? Y'all feel like y'all own people again? You know, that's the only problem you had anyway. You didn't feel like you own people anymore. So y'all feel like y'all own people again because Trump owns y'all ass. He owns you now. You can't even speak out if you wanted to change your mind. And you know, his press secretary came out, or the press secretary or the DOJ came out and said, if you say fuck Trump, that's 15 years in El Salvador. Look what y'all done. Look what you have done. I want you to be proud of your work. I want you to be proud of what you have brought down on this country. Be proud. Because when you stand before your maker, I want you to be able to spout what you did with pride. I want you to be boastful about it like y'all are at these damn rallies. When you stand before your maker, you let them know why you did it. Tell them because you were sick of black people. That you hated black people and you thought they should be put in their places. That you thought people were taking over your country as if you own something. You get ready. Because what you meant to rain down on everybody else, baby, you're going to be under that same rain. You're going to be under that same rain. We all going down the tubes, baby. Yep. Y'all just flushed the toilet on the United States. The value of the American dollar dropping. Badly. We don't have any scheduled ports coming, any scheduled ships coming to this country. I think they said the last one coming is like May 11th. That's the last one. That's the last one. And I believe truckers should be feeling the pinch right about now, because no ports, no loads. No ships, no loads. No loads, no routes. Truck don't move. Truckers don't make money. I know that for a fact. My ex is a truck driver. No loads, no money. Truck doesn't move, no money. How can you move your truck when the ports are empty? There was a trucker on yesterday. He was in Seattle. He dropped a load. He'd been there 8 hours waiting on another one. That was in Seattle. There's a port in Seattle. That man should have been gone. He should have dropped his load and hitched up another one and headed right back out. The man said he's been there for 8 hours. So, be pleased with yourselves. Be pleased with yourself. Pat yourselves on the back. Sleep well at night. Sleep well at night, knowing that you rain hell down on all of us. And the only justice that's going to come is the hell you're going to get when you meet your maker to answer for what you've done.
Isaiah 10:1. It reads, Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help, and where will ye leave your glory? Without me they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this anger, Salaki, for all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. I will send him against an hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge, to take the spoil, and to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. Giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash, and double honor to our apostles, elders, and bishops here at Great Millstone for teaching this truth that is going all around the earth. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. It's your brother Atazawan from the Great Millstone here in St. Louis. And real quick lesson on that clip we saw with this lady, all right, who I guess wherever she got her information from, she talking about what's getting ready to happen. All right, today is the 12th of May, and I believe she said on the 11th, the last containers from China would hit whatever ports here in America, right? And that there's going to be a great shortage, right, of food, supplies, and so forth, right? Which will have its own trickle-down effect of many people losing their livelihoods, their way to make money and to take care of themselves and their families, right? Because Babylon is falling, and it's falling right in front of your eyes, okay? All right, so that's what we see on the cusp, okay? Now, it's amazing how you have so many of these people now with Instagram, TikTok, and all these other different platforms that they come out and give their forecast for what's getting ready to happen and what they've heard. Well, the men of the Lord have been doing this for years, okay? And not that we need anybody's credit, right? Starting with our apostles here at Great Millstone. We don't need anybody's credit, okay? However, it's funny how the men of the Lord have been talked about, spoofed, right? Made mockery of, made fun of, the butt of everybody, every weak-ass comedian out there, the butt of their jokes, okay? All right? But we've been preaching this message for quite some time now, you see? And now, ordinary Joes and Josephines, if you will, believe that they have some type of wisdom and knowledge, okay, about what's going on and how to tell you what you need to do, okay? So we're seeing a lot of that. But it's been a men of the Lord that's been telling you about this and that it was coming, okay, because it's prophesied in the scriptures that this place would fall, right, that there would be an end to this gravy train, right? All trains pull into a station, the last station, all right? And this is where we are in Babylon. This train is pulling into its last station, okay? This is Revelation 17:3, and we'll make this real quick. All right, it says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, which we've broken that down for many, many years now about the start of the NATO, okay, all right, of these nations that came together, and Babylon really being the driving force of it, you see, because they are the ones who make all of these different unlawful decrees and sanctions upon all the peoples and the nations of the world, right? Verse 4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication, right? Pushing her wickedness all across the planet, and they call it democracy. Verse 5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And there's no way that you can not understand that AKA America is Babylon the Great. All right, let's go over here to Revelation 18, and let's jump up to the top, I believe. And we'll start from the top, and then we'll skip down a little bit. Revelation 18:1, it says, "After these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils and the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies," right? Through all the different trades, right? This is why you have all of these ports, right? That go all around what they call, America or North America. Okay, you got it on the West Coast, you got it in the Gulf of Mexico, you got it on the East, right? Covers all the sides of it. Okay, you have stuff that even ships from Canada. Okay, going on, it says, verse 4, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she is rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup, that golden cup, right, which she hath filled to her double," right? So all the terror, the horror, the plagues, all right, that this place has put on the people, particularly the nation of Israel, right, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right, by shedding our blood, right, casting us into slavery, utter poverty, okay, being the lowest of the low, okay. Though, yeah, our Heavenly Father put us in this condition, it is these people who are running this place, okay, who have overextended, right, the punishment, all right, the death, the bloodshed against the Lord's people. And so this place has to be burned. It has to be taken out. And we're in that time right now. Verse 7, "How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow." Right. This place has never been attacked, okay, by any other nation. All right. And the pride of the people of this place is off the charts. Okay. They think nothing can be done to them. All right. Verse 18, "Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her." So when America finally does go down, when the shit hits the fan and everything is chaotic, it will be the Lord's judgment that's being poured out against this place. All right. Verse 9, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city," yeah, America, "that mighty city," okay, where all the nation people came here and got rich, right? All the other nations did business under all these different sanctioned groups, the IMF, right? You had the CFR and all these other different coalitions, right? Which included really Edomite nations at the beginning. And then they brought in some of the other leaders of these other nations around the world. "Standing afar off for her fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth her merchandise any more. The merchants of gold and silver and precious stones, and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet, and all thine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beast, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and what? Slaves, and souls of men." Where really in our modern day time, you have those of us that labor to try to make a living for these people who are filthy rich, who own all of these different businesses and different factories and the like of that, okay? Where all we do is labor and produce for those who are rich in this world, be it other nations, okay, who have their businesses here or what have you, you know. But at the end, it's really just America and its history of what it did to the Israelites here, all right, to build this place up over all these years, right? And other people have benefited from it, right? To do business here, you see. Now I'm gonna jump down real quick. Like I said, I'm not trying to make this real long. So we just hit a few points, all right? But it's a lot more to it, but we're just hitting a few points of it, some highlights, all right? Verse 21, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be. See, that's what I was just saying. Those of us that labor and work, these souls of men, we still in bondage, basically, even though you earn what they call a paycheck, but it's really not money. You know, you're working for pieces of paper, all right, to support your life, okay? But going on, it says, of whatsoever craft he be, shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee, right? So like that lady was saying, a lot of people's businesses are going to stop, whether you're in the trucking business, whether you're a laborer, whether you are a dockhand, right? You're a longshoreman. Everybody's going to suffer. You know, the railroads are going to suffer. All of that, you see. So it's going to be some terrible, terrible times, and we're getting very, very close to it. Now let's go over here to Ecclesiastes. Chapter 12, verse 1 says, remember thou thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And that's what's getting ready to happen now. See, while people are young and you're vibrant and things are going your way, and, you know, you really don't, as they say, the carefree life, you don't think about, you know, the Lord, because you're in your strength, you're in your youth, and you just enjoying yourself. But it also talks about what? That the evil days, you know, remember your creator before these evil days come. You know, the times basically in your life where things get hard for you. You know, a lot of people reflect on their lives when they get old or get close to death, right? So you got to remember the Lord while you're in your strength. Okay, know that it's him that's been carrying you through all this time. All right, but these evil days are upon us. Verse 2, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strawmen shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And we're living in that time now, okay? The music sucks, right? There are no real artists, no real singers, no real musicians who know how to write music, arrange, orchestrate, okay? This is a prefabricated society that you're living in, right? It's the paper tiger of the universe, all right? There's no bite in this place, okay? This place is going to fold up just like paper, okay? All right, so the jobs are going away here, all right? And it's going to be desperate times. And as they say, desperate times bring desperate measures. Let's get a couple more here. Let's go over to 2nd Esdras. We'll jump in right here, 2nd Esdras 6, verse 7, and it says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? And that's what we're waiting for. All right, so in order to get to that point, right, for Jacob's world to come in, Esau's world has to fall. And in that will be a lot of death, as it said in Revelation, a lot of famine, okay? It's not going to be a great time. This is Luke 21:34, and it reads, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and the cares of this life, right? And that's what you see mostly everybody's lamenting and crying over now. They can't enjoy their lives. They don't have any extra money. They can't go anywhere, all right? They're losing their jobs. Rent is sky high, all right? Food prices are shooting up. Gas prices are shooting up, okay? So this is not a fun time in Babylon. You know, the party's over, okay? And so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them, not some, not a few, but come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore and pray always. And that's what we need to do now, right? Continue in prayer, okay? That ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. So you better pray, you better repent, you better seek the Lord while you have a chance, because all things have a cycle to it, okay? No empire or kingdom stood forever, okay? And so this one has an end as well. There's an expiration date here in America, Babylon the Great, and there's no way to stop it. Okay, 2nd Ezra 9, and we'll start right there at the top. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, right? You see a lot of events happening in the earth. Strange weather patterns. I believe they had an earthquake in Georgia, yesterday? Sometime yesterday morning. Okay, so there are a lot of things going on. Strange weather, storms, rain that seem like it just won't stop. Okay, so these are some of the signs. Okay, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, right, and uproars of the people in the world, and you're going to see a lot of people start to bug out, okay? Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And we're seeing these effects and signs, these wonders, these works of the Lord, to show you and to tell you that the end of Babylon is here. And with that, I'll end the lesson. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Shalom.